Well, hello again, Cancer. It's February 2016. Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au, and you can't enforce friendship and love on people. And I say that because right now the movement of Venus in your zone of marriage and intimate relationships is about to make a very powerful conjunction with Pluto. It's a very intense combination that peaks on the 6th of February, and then on the 9th we see a new moon occurring in the zone of sexuality in your horoscope. So it's a pretty significant time in your life. These planets, in fact Mercury is also in the company of Venus and Pluto, so you can expect your communications and your desires as well to be pretty intense, maybe even very, very demanding, or vice versa. But it is a month when you need to perhaps step back a little bit and ask yourself whether or not demanding something in your life is going to be as effective as simply drawing it to you, attracting it to you. And I think that's probably the theme for you this month in your relationships. We also see, as the month commences, the Moon and Mars together in your 5th house of romance and love affairs. So there are a few triggers here. The 5th house, the 7th house and the 8th house, all centered on relationship issues. And this 8th house, having the new moon there, is particularly significant because it is the area relating to those really transformative changes in our lives. The new moon signifies some radical shift or change, along with that conjunction of Venus to Pluto in your 7th house. Now the other thing there is that you may find yourself in the company of manipulative people. So how you deal with that requires a little bit of nous on your part, some careful, shrewd diplomacy, but more importantly awareness. You need to be aware of when these games are being played with you. I mentioned for some time the slow movement of that unpredictable planet in your career sector. If you take a look at all these planets in this 7th house, the ones I'm just talking about now, they are in the right angle to that career sector for Cancer-born individuals. And if I take a look at the planet itself, there are 4 main aspects affecting this area. Now this could be an interplay between your personal life and your professional life, because these planets are affecting each other from both of those departments in the heavens. The first important one is the Mercury square that occurs on February 1st, straight off the mark. So the Mercury square indicates some reasonably intense communications and I guess meetings or discussions that arise rather abruptly when you least expect it. So you need to be prepared and ready to improvise on the spot with that. The other one is on the 7th of February, and the Sun. It'll only be for the first week. The Sun will come in to give you a bit of assistance. That is a finance planet. So perhaps some of these discussions have to do with your money and your income and how you're going to go about sorting that out. The romance one that I started the reading off with is also intense around the 7th, with Venus at the right angle to Uranus. So these discussions, which may be rather abrupt, also herald some changes in the relationship. The way these negotiations pan out could well indeed affect your relationships, and in a way that you hadn't expected. And again, we see the Mercury sextile aspect, again another favourable aspect, on the 27th taking place. So that can smooth things over for you considerably. If we look at the other significant transits here. We see the sun moving out of this difficult position. Let's have a look at that. That will be on the 19th. The sun will move to the zone of travels and journeys, higher education, and that is a far better position than the 8th house in which the month starts off. The 9th house, incidentally, has a lot to do with good fortune and past karma. So finances could start to do quite well in the second half of the month for you. Venus moves to the 8th house. That's that sexual house of intimacy that we've been talking about. It forms a sextile aspect on the 8th. It moves to that zone on, let me have a look here, on the 17th. So that period there should start to show a little bit of a better result for you in terms of your personal affairs. But mind you, the 7th house is also a place of travels, and once that sun moves to your 9th house of journeys, there could be some opportunity for you to travel. Be careful, because there's an opposition that's going to form in the next month or so as well to Jupiter in the 3rd house of travels. So you may be ill-equipped to handle that. With all this Uranus energy, you may also be doing things on the spur of the moment without too much forethought. So that is something you need to apply to all of the departments of your life, romantic as well as business and social. The final thing I'd like to talk about is the full moon that takes place in Virgo. Again, a travel sector on the 23rd. That's when a lot of that stuff starts to pick up. As I said, 19, the transit of the sun to the 9th house of travels, 23rd, the full moon occurring in the 3rd house, fully aspecting or looking at that 9th house of travels. So the end of the month should be rather interesting from that point of view. Look forward to your company next month. Don't forget to stop off at the website astrology.com.au, the detailed analysis of the month, daily readings, and I've also just released the year in focus, covering a lot of different areas. Hope to see you there as well. Till next month, take care. Bye-bye.